I'm waiting for these cucumbers to defrost because my fridge outside was entirely too high. And so it had frozen all of my produce, including my cucumbers. So they're froze. I was trying to get them, you know, out before the live so I could eat them really quickly, but I didn't realize they were frozen. So I'm gonna be snacking on these as they unthaw during the live because I'm making some like a tortilla, kind of like a tortilla, I guess a tortilla chili kind of situation. Like I'm gonna be making the like tortilla soup, but that's gonna take a little minute, and I have not eaten today, and I'm kind of hungry. So I was hungry at like 12, but I stuck it out, and now my cucumbers are frozen. So we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna be talking about eating your way into diseases, eating your way into the grave, and we're gonna be diving specifically into like insulin resistance and diabetes. So if you are a sufferer from if you suffer from I was trying to correct and it still didn't go right. If you are suffering from insulin resistance or diabetes, or if you have any other diseases going on inside of your body, because you'll still be able to benefit from this live if you don't necessarily have insulin resistance or diabetes. But that's just a topic that we are talking about specifically on hand, because you have to understand all of these diseases are stemming from inflammation. And so majority of society is going to relate with this live because you are sitting here eating yourself into the grave. You are sitting here eating yourself into insulin resistance. You're eating yourself into diabetes because that snack tastes so good to you that you can't even have a discerning thought and think about the fact that these processed sugars like brown sugar and white sugar are heavily processed to the point where it throws off your chemical balance when you ingest them. It does a number on your dopamine response, but it also affects your brain's chemical balance when it comes to your body craving unnatural sugars. So when you sit here and you eat all these terrible foods that have added processed sugars in them, and you don't realize what you're doing to your body, you are sitting there throwing off your chemical balance for years on end, and then you wonder how you develop diabetes. You wonder why you have insulin resistance. You wonder why you have painful menstrual cycles. You wonder why you have high blood pressure, and you sit here and say it runs in your family, but it does not run in your family. The only thing that runs in your family is everybody in your family eats the same way. Everybody in your family consumes the same way, and you pass down these habits to generation to generation. That's what runs in your family. The disease does not run in your family. And so, yeah, the rest of them are frozen to like no other end, so we're gonna wait for those. But if you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist, and I'm here to help you, to support you in understanding what is going on with our food industry and understanding that we are not healing the way that we should be, and we're not supporting our body so our body can be healing, because our bodies are healing vessels. And so we don't know how to holistically heal ourselves. We believe in Western medicine that is keeping us sick, and you're not realizing the fact that they are projecting the profit margin. I think right now the profit margin is in the billions, but I don't know how low it is exactly, but it's in the low billions. They're projecting the profit margins for people with obesity to go all the way up to 17 point something billion dollars. That's where their medical industry is profiting off of just obesity alone. $17 billion. Let's just go on ahead and just like think about that. Off of people being overweight and not taking care of themselves. And when you see society and you see how the world is going and you see the way that people are currently right now, I can see those numbers being realistic very quickly. I can see that becoming reality very quickly. And all they're doing is projecting how sick they can make you and how much they can throw off your chemical balance, to the point where they can project that they're going to make millions and billions of dollars off of you being overweight, you being insulin resistant, you being diabetic, because they're all related. When you are overweight, you develop insulin resistance. When you are overweight, you develop diabetes. When you have diabetes, you're more likely than not overweight. Stop. I don't know if she was playing with her ball or trying to get my attention, but I think she was trying to get my attention to play with her. But she's gotten attention all day. She's just being very needy lately. And so we have to understand that they're projecting how sick they can make you in the future so that they can make more profit off of you. Like, if that's not how you look at that statistic, then you're looking at it in the wrong light. Because you're not understanding that it's not too late, first of all. If you have been diagnosed or if you're suffering, it's not too late. It's a matter of changing your habits and understanding how you've been led here, what you've been doing. Understand the effect that all these terrible foods have on your body. Understand the fact that if you are not changing the ways that you have when it comes to eating meat and dairy, and learning the fact that that's keeping you inflamed, which is going to feed diseases in your body. If you're not understanding the fact that they fooled you with these My Plates and these food pyramids, and they're telling you to eat a certain way, and they've been telling you to eat this way for all of your life, and you don't realize the fact that since they've been telling you to eat this way all of your life, and everybody follows that same way, and nobody has healed, nobody has changed, and you're not looking at it in the space of, I wonder why everybody follows the same thing and everybody has diseases and illnesses. Why is nobody's body healing when our bodies are able to heal themselves if you use natural methods? When you start to question what is going on and you start to question how in the world we've gotten here as a society, how they can make billions of dollars off of people being overweight, and it's not a crisis, but rather a profit margin for them to profit off of, for them to advance in. If that's not something for you to question, then this page is not for you. But if that sparks something in your brain to go, now wait a minute, I never thought of it that way. Or if you're sitting there in your brain and you're thinking, I do have insulin resistance. Somebody in my family has diabetes. I understand that it doesn't run in your family, and I'm not here to just be suffering from a disease. If you really have that discerning thought and that questioning thought, that mindset of I can change and I want change, but I don't know how, my page is for you. My live is for you. All the content that I post on YouTube, which is free, it's literally all of my past lives, is for you. If you are ready for a change and you want to learn how I've changed my lifestyle, how I've gotten here from where I was, because I was a person who was leading myself down into insulin resistance. I was a person that was sitting there suffering. I was a person that did not understand the fact that you don't need medications and you don't need prescriptions for you to be healthy. You don't have to take these medications in order for you to feel good. It's a matter of what you're eating. I was a person who was dealing with weight fluctuation all of my life and could not figure out how in the world I've gotten here where I was not able to get under 190, was over 200 pounds, and was active as all get out. I was one of the people that was following diet culture and following what they were telling us to do, yet was still suffering. But now here I am, almost 4 years, it'll be 4 years in October, in a plant-based lifestyle. And I can tell you that I no longer suffer from weight fluctuation. I don't have signs of insulin resistance like I did. I don't have inflammation because I was having knee pain in 5th grade. I had to wear 2 knee braces, one on each knee. I was about to say ankle, one on each knee because each knee was that inflamed. Had knee braces, was having knee pain, developed asthma in high school. All of these are symptoms and signs that I had toxin buildup, which causes inflammation at a very, very young age. Was dealing with menstrual pain from the time that I started my menstrual cycle. Was dealing with all of these issues that come from inflammation. Diabetes, insulin resistance, all of that comes from inflammation. And you have to understand that the foods that you are eating feeds inflammation. When you are not using food as your medicine, but rather just something for you to fill your body, you are feeding inflammation and you are causing the disease to thrive in that space. You are letting a disease thrive in your body if you are depending on insulin, if you're depending on medication. Because when you have medications and prescriptions that you take on a regular basis, you do understand that your doctor says and they tell you you're managing your disease. So when you're managing something, let's say you're maintaining your car, you're maintaining your washing machine, your dishwasher to make sure it doesn't break. You're maintaining it, so you're keeping up the maintenance to keep it alive. That's the same thing you're doing with a disease. You're maintaining your diabetes. You're maintaining your high blood pressure. You're keeping it alive inside of your body instead of healing it. because you believe that this prescription and this diagnosis is something that you have to deal with for the rest of your life, because everybody in your family has it, because it runs in your family, quote unquote, of what people say. You're maintaining this in your body when you can help yourself heal it. And if you want to learn how, you'll get deeper into this live and you'll understand and you'll get to the steps. But you also can come work with me if you are ready to shift your lifestyle completely, so that that healing can allow you to see how every aspect of your life can be a healing point when it comes to what you're putting in your body and what you're putting on your body. Not just taking your prescription and managing, not just taking some kind of medication and managing, getting supplements or tinctures. If you are not eating correctly and you're using herbs or tinctures, you're not doing your body any good service. Okay, I feel like there was a trouble not answering that. Let's see. I'll figure out where I was. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to let my dog out the wall. Get in your bed and go sit down. Actually, I'm not letting her out because she doesn't eat. Go. Now, go. Go, Nala. She's being so hard-headed today. Lay down. She doesn't need anything at all. She just hears noises and she wants to see what it is. Okay, let's see where I was. So if you are a person that, for instance, you feel sluggish after meals, if you feel the itis after you eat, if you are a person that every time you eat, you feel like you need sugar, you crave sugar, you have to have your little snack. And I know I love me a little snack afterwards. But if you are feeling like that every single time when you're sluggish, you're fatigued, you feel like you have the itis, you have to have something sweet after, you have to realize and have the wake-up call with yourself to understand that is your body's sign of telling you you're not getting all the nutrients that you need. When you're craving sugar, when you're craving sweets, especially after you eat, that is your body's way of saying your insulin is high and you are not giving yourself enough proteins and healthy fats so that your insulin wasn't spiked during that time of your meal. And so when your insulin spikes every single time you eat, this is how you get insulin resistance. This is how you get diabetes. Instead of realizing the fact that your weight fluctuation and your inability of losing weight is because you have to go on a diet, but in reality realizing it's because your body's not getting the nutrients that it needs, so it's holding on to those fats in your fat pockets, because if it doesn't hold on to that, it's afraid that it's going to lose all the nutrients that it possibly can feed off of the fat cells that you have. Your body's in fight or flight mode if you don't realize that. That's what your body is telling you. When you are having weight fluctuation or you're dealing with issues of losing weight and you can't figure out how you can't lose weight, it's because your body is holding on to the toxicity that is stored inside of your fat cells, because that's the only thing that it can feed off of. And instead of feeding off of it and using it and releasing it like you do with natural nutrients when you get real whole foods from fruits and vegetables, because we know when you're eating your fruits and vegetables, you're going to the bathroom because you're getting all the fiber you need. Your body is constantly recycling toxins inside of your body when you are feeding off of those toxic chemicals stored inside of your fat cells. Because if you don't know, toxins store inside of your fat cells. That's where they go. That's where they thrive at. Because your body holds on to that because it's in a fight or flight state. It doesn't know when the next time you're going to give it nutrients, because you've been doing this for years on end, putting your body in insulin resistance and not giving it nutrients every single day because you believe that you're eating meat and you go get these fast food places with your protein of meat and you eating dairy is what you get nutrients from. But when you look at society and you see how people are, they're malnourished, but they're overweight. They're suffering from diseases, yet they eat all day. When you are eating for your health and you're using food as your medicine and you're eating correctly, first of all, you won't be hungry all day long. Second of all, your body will be healing and it will be in a healthy state, so you won't be holding on to this weight. You won't have weight fluctuation. And if you are suffering from somebody who is dealing with the issues of losing weight, then you're also not getting enough nutrients either. If you can't hold weight for anything and you eat meat and dairy and you think that you just eating all day and eating any kind of thing is the way for you to gain weight, you do understand that you're still not giving your body the nutrients and it's still in fight or flight mode. Because if you are suffering with issues when it comes to weight, whether it's losing or gaining, it's the matter of what kind of nutrients you're getting and how much nutrients you're getting. Because you should not be hungry and eating all day. There are times where I'm hungrier, where I might eat 2, maybe 3 times a day, if that. I rarely ever eat 3 times a day when it comes to meals. I might have a snack in between, that's different. But a meal, you people that are eating 3 meals a day, you're starting and eating at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and you're eating again at 12, and then you're eating again at 6. That's a lot of crap that you're putting in your body. That's a lot of crap you're not releasing through your digestive tract. Because if you really sit there and think about it, Americans especially are not getting enough fiber. You're not cleansing and detoxing. You don't eat like this every now and then. You do this every single day. You eat meat, you eat dairy. Meat produces parasites. Meat has parasites in them. You don't cleanse, you don't release. It's stuck and stored inside of you. I love how I said we were talking about insulin resistance, but we kind of got on the topic of everything. Because it does tie all together. And so when you think about that, parasites feed off of this toxic environment that you give yourself from all these toxins, from all this buildup. They thrive there, they reproduce babies, and they keep on living on, and you never do anything about them because you don't know how to cleanse properly. You never do anything about them because you don't use food as your medicine. You eat meat, and meat rots, it decays. You don't have a digestive tract that can sit there and work 10 times of what you need because you eat 3 times a day and you eat meat with every single meal. Your body cannot handle that. And that's the reason why you're so bloated. That's the reason why it's stuck in your digestive tract. That's the reason why you're constipated. That's the reason why you're sitting there dealing with weight fluctuation. Because your body cannot deal with all of that stress that you are putting it under. And you don't even realize how deep it goes. You need to have a wake-up call and realize the fact that when you are sitting here overloading yourself with all these toxic sugars, all these toxic additives and fillers, and you do this every single day on top of the meat and dairy that you're eating, all you're doing is feeding your body inflammation, and all you're doing is harming your body. And you do this every single day. Did you know that the food that you were eating every single day is quietly pushing you closer and closer to you being insulin resistant and diabetic? Because that's what the road that you're going down. If you feel like every single time you eat that you are sitting there, you have to have something sweet. Every single time you eat, you have the itis, you're tired, you need to go take a nap. You deal with weight fluctuation and you can't get it settled and you can't get a stable weight to stay. That's what you're doing. You're leading yourself every single day to insulin resistance and eventually developing diabetes. And most of these people are being misled, like you, with diet culture. You believe diet culture is going to support you. You believe that these tinctures and these supplements and these prescriptions are going to get you to the health that you need, while you still do every single day your body a disservice. You feed your body crap every single day and you think that's going to help you. Not realizing the fact that you have been misled, you have been fed lies with diet culture. Diet culture would never support you because that puts your body in a fight or flight state. Majority of these diets also put you in an insulin resistant state, if you do not know this. And diet culture is going to give you long-term damage to the point where you're not going to be able to repair it with diet culture because it puts you in this state. The only way that your body can heal and heal itself from the inside out the way that it should be is through holistic methods and understanding that you have to get back to the basis of you eating your fruits and vegetables and knowing how to support your body with the foods that you're eating, with the products that you use. You're going out here and you're eating these Swedish fish. You're out here eating these hot chips. You're eating ramen. You're eating Vienna sausages. You're sitting here eating salmon out of a can. Like, you're eating all these different things that you don't realize that they're filled with toxins and additives, heavy metals. You're eating microplastics, and you never detox and support your body in releasing this. And if you have diseases like diabetes, if you have insulin resistance going on, you're sitting there putting yourself in a worse state. Because when you have type 2 diabetes, for example, and you have type 2, and we all know if you don't deal with it, it gets worse. When you have type 2, it leads you to type 3. And so think about the fact that the people that have type 2 diabetes and they sit there and say, oh, I have to take my insulin. I can't eat that. I can't have these blueberries because it'll spike my insulin. I can't eat apples or have apple juice because it'll spike my insulin. Or they have to eat it and water it down if they're drinking it rather. Realize the fact that it's not going to spike your insulin if you're eating correctly. If you're getting that healthy natural sugar from fruits and you also pair it, for instance, with a healthy fat like nuts, a healthy protein like nuts. That's going to keep your insulin from spiking. You're helping your body not only get the nutrients that it needs from every category, fruits, vegetables, proteins, nuts, whatever, legumes, but you're also supporting your body in getting reset so that when you do get to the space of your body is finally healing itself, your body is craving natural foods. It's not still craving the crap that puts you in the insulin resistant state, that puts you in the diabetic state. Because when you take insulin all your life, all you're doing is managing a disease. All you're doing is leading yourself to having type 3, because type 2 will not heal itself off of insulin. You will be on insulin for the rest of your life. You're going to be sitting there eating yourself to the grave because you're not changing any of your habits. You're not changing the way that you eat. You're not changing the habits that you have. But if you start slowly changing that for yourself, and you'll realize the fact that your body is a healing vessel, it all starts with the habits that you have and the foods that you use as medicine. If you know how to do that. You have to learn how to use food as your medicine. You have to learn how to read your labels. You have to educate yourself on what is going on with this insulin and what's going on with our food industry. And majority of you, I know a lot of people don't eat pork. I feel like a lot of people are getting away from pork. A lot of people understand what pork is doing to their body. Do you know that insulin has pig products in it? Insulin has pig extraction in it. It has pork in it. So think about, for all the people that do not eat pork, if you are sitting there using insulin, it has pork in it. And that's not an exaggeration. You can literally look it up. I just did a quick Google search of what is inside insulin. Pork is inside of insulin. So they're sitting there putting a pig product inside of your body to give you insulin. When your body produces its own natural insulin, it's just a matter of you helping your body get back to the healing state and getting back to its reset state of where it naturally helps itself. But you don't know how to do that because you don't want to learn. You haven't sat there and dealt with the reality of what insulin resistance and diabetes looks like and how you've gotten here. You haven't sat there and realized the fact that you are the issue. You have led yourself here to this because we're all here. We're adults here. I don't see anybody that's coming in here that is a child. And so at this point, you are choosing it, because when you're an adult, you have free will. You have choice. Nobody's over you. You have free reign. If you want to heal, you're going to find that and you're going to deal with it. You're going to find the root cause of the issue and you're going to figure out how to heal yourself. But if you want to keep managing and dealing the way that you have been and the way that society is right now with being overweight and dealing with weight fluctuation and dealing with insulin resistance, then you're going to keep doing what you're doing. You're going to keep living the way that you live. But for the people that are ready to shift their health and they've already started, they're ahead of the game. Because if you look and you know what this 2025 and 2026 and 2030 agenda is, and you know what's going on, and like I just said, how they're projecting for them to make 17, I'm pretty sure it's either, because I know we're in the billions. So they're projecting that eventually by 2030 we'll be into the 17 billion mark when it comes to them being in a profitable state off of you being overweight. When you see those numbers and you see the agenda for 2030 and you see how they're projecting how much profit they're going to make off of you being unhealthy, you realize the fact that they don't have your best interest in mind. They make these my plates and these food pyramids and they create them and they tell you to do this. But then you stick to it and you're still unhealthy. You do these diets, you stick to it, and you still go back to the same weight that you were before once you go back to the same lifestyle that you were living. You suffer through a diet to gain more weight afterwards. When you can learn how to change your lifestyle and help yourself heal by getting back to holistic methods and understanding that food is your medicine, understanding that the products that you use in your home, as far as bleach and you using this Lysol and everything else, is toxic and it's poisoning you. It's throwing off your systems and your balances. And this is how you lead yourself to being built up with toxins, and toxins feed diseases. Get in your bed now. Thought I didn't hear her. If you are ready for a change and you are ready, you're going to realize and take the initiative that the reality check of I'm being insulin resistant with my habits. I've become insulin resistant with my habits. I've developed diabetes with my habits. And when you look at when you look at the statistics, if you have children, they're finding younger and younger, and young adults, teens, children are developing diabetes, type 2 diabetes, more than any generation in the past. And they're seeing it younger and younger. The statistics are there. The habits are there. They're prominent because everybody's doing the same thing. You want to fit in this box of normal and what society and the government has told you to do. And look at the result. Like, really, look at the result from you following what they're telling you to do. It's scary how bad it's getting. And in 10 to 15 years, even 5 years, if this is what it's looking like now and they have this 2030 agenda, I can only imagine how bad it's going to get. If they're projecting that they're going to profit $17 billion off of people just being overweight alone and dealing with their medical issues. Think about how bad it's going to get in 15 years. Think about how bad it'll be for your child if you have a young child right now when they're your age. Your body can heal from anything because it's a healing vessel. It's all the matter of what you're doing, the actions that you're taking, and educating yourself on what your body truly is designed to do and how you're supposed to be consuming. Educating yourself on how society is tricking you with telling you that it's okay for you to eat these GMOs, and educating yourself on how in the world they're tricking you and thinking that you can eat these foods in moderation. But in reality, none of you are eating this crap in moderation. If you think you're consuming citric acid in moderation and that it's okay for you to be eating this citric acid that is not derived from a natural citrus source, understand that there is no moderation when you're consuming citric acid, which is derived from black mold. When you look at that and you realize that black mold is in your food in order to keep it from molding, and they tell you you can consume it in moderation, when are you going to take that and look at it and be like, how can I consume mold in moderation if I'm not even supposed to be in contact with it? Like, really, if you're not supposed to have black mold in your home over long exposure periods of time, where you're supposed to deal with that immediately, how do you think it's okay to have it in your food? And that's not just me saying, oh, you have black mold in your food. Look it up. Look up what citric acid is actually derived from if it's not derived from a citrus fruit. They have been doing that since, I think, early 90s, maybe even before then. Because the company that makes your hokey pokeys, your little shots, the same people that start with a P, they also started deriving citric acid from black mold and sold it to a company in China. They're the same people. You are so welcome. All of my past lives are posted on YouTube. All of my free content, I try to repost it on YouTube so that you have that there. Just in case they take TikTok away from us, follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Instagram. And if you are ready to learn how to support yourself and to work with me, the links are in my bio. You can click that. You can get my plant-based cookbook. You can get every single service or product that I have with Klarna, Affirmer, Afterpay. That plant-based cookbook is only $25, and it gives you over 20 meals that are mix and match that will support you. You said I'm in menopause and I heard low carb is the best for weight loss, so I eat veggies. Facts. Low carbs are going to help you, especially if you're insulin resistant or diabetic. Low carbs are going to help you because carbs are going to feed. We have to think about it this way. Carbs not only feed you gaining weight, they feed the fat cells, they feed the toxins, but it also is not helping you when you have a high carb diet, not enough protein and not enough healthy fats. And when I say healthy proteins, because people are like, well, I eat meat. That's not a healthy protein. When you look at how meat is and where our society is, meat is not the healthy alternative or the healthy protein that they're telling you it is. Because everybody is out here eating meat and doing the same thing, and yet they're developing diseases, yet they're still sick. They're following the same agenda that they're telling you and you're sick. But I know plenty of people that went plant-based, that eat veggies, that had cancer and just did a raw diet for 3 months. And they literally healed themselves from cancer, no chemo, no nothing. It's all a matter of knowing how to support your body and how your body can reset itself and how it can heal itself. How you can do that for yourself. If you want that, you will go get it. But if you're going to sit here and just keep doing the same thing over and over again, just know where you're leading yourself. And just like the title of this live, you're just leading yourself to eating yourself into the grave. And I hate to see it, but it's like, it's either in the matter of, do you want change or do you want to keep doing the same thing and leading yourself down the same path? Because it's not hard for you to veer left and get away from what society is doing. I did it. It's not hard. I did it. I'm 4 years in October. I'll be plant-based. 4 years. It's not that difficult. The thought of it is difficult. The thought of change is difficult. But actually doing the change is not hard. Learning how to do it for yourself is not hard. There's plenty of content out here. There's plenty of people like me that I give you recipes. There's plenty of things and products and services that I have that will support you in literally walking you step by step. If you want step by step, my Bloom to Thrive program is literally a plant-based program that will walk you from meals to making your own medications, to making your own products for bath wash, toothpaste, mouthwash, getting away from all those chemicals in your food and your products. And by the end of that 12-week program, you will literally learn how to live a plant-based lifestyle exactly how I do it. No problem, no stumbling blocks, no challenges. Because you have access to me and how I've done this and how I've been doing this for years on end. How I teach and tell other people how to do it so that they can sustain this for years on end. Because the way that we are going with our society, I'm telling you, once you start to develop healthier lifestyle habits and, like, for example, go plant-based, you will not want to go back, especially the way that this society is going. You are absolutely welcome. You can get that program with Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay, every single product and service that I have. Because people are buying clothes, they're going to Shein and spending $200-$300 and using Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. But when somebody tells you you can heal your body and you can support your body so that you don't have to keep running back and forth to the doctor, you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on medications, you don't have to take supplements and tinctures, you look and you're like, okay, but what am I getting? And I'm telling you, healing. If you want to learn how to heal, if you want all of these proof studies, it's out there. I have it. Like, the people in my comments come constantly, they're commenting and they're talking about how they healed themselves, doing exactly what I'm telling you to do. People are sitting there telling you on Facebook they healed themselves. If you just look into one group of raw plant-based eating, they're telling you how they heal from cancer, they heal from diabetes, they heal from high blood pressure. I don't eat and live a raw lifestyle. I eat raw every now and then. Every month I do a cleanse. I don't eat raw every single day. But I do eat my fruits, I do eat my vegetables. I cook plant-based meals when I want to cook something and have something warm. I just posted a live on YouTube where I was live for like 3 hours cooking a complete meal from scratch on TikTok, showing you how easy it can be from start to finish to cook from scratch a plant-based meal. And the only reason why it took me 3 hours was because I was on live chit-chatting and talking. If I was cooking that just on a normal day by myself without the live and having to talk to everybody else and everything else, it probably would have took an hour and 30 minutes most, because it was not a difficult meal. There are harder meals that take longer, like everybody knows, and there are simple, easy, quick meals that I show you in my plant-based beginner guide that will support you in just making quick, easy meals, prep meals, all of that. It's a matter of what do you want for yourself. Because those are the meals that help you heal. Those are the daily habits that are going to keep you from insulin resistance and diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer. Because when you have these diseases and you don't deal with them, you're leading yourself to one or the other, either unaliving or cancer. When you have type 2 diabetes undealt with, leads you to type 3. And they have not been able to sit there and correlate it directly, but they have many, many studies that talk about, yes, they can't directly correlate it, but it is showing signs of being linked to type 3 and Alzheimer's, because sugar feeds toxins. And sugar puts your body in a toxic state. And sugar makes you go crazy. When they do the statistics and you look at it and you see the signs that they're pointing to, sugar literally makes your brain go crazy. This is the reason why undealt with you develop type 3. And undealt with type 3, because you didn't deal with it with type 2, you eventually develop Alzheimer's. It's a terrible, terrible reality that we live in, because we don't realize, and we're not sitting here changing our ways because we don't understand what we're doing to our body, because we're being told it's okay, just manage it with a prescription. It's okay, just take your insulin and manage for the rest of your life. Get this high blood pressure and manage it for the rest of your life. Ultimately, your poor health is leading you to being diseased. All of these things that you're feeding into because you're like, oh, I'm craving sugar. I'm craving sugar. Every time you eat, you crave sugar. Not realizing the fact, the reason why every time you eat, you crave sugar is because you're not getting all the nutrients that you need in that meal. So your body is having an insulin spike. And since it has an insulin spike and you're not dealing with it appropriately, your body's craving sugar. You're losing too much sugar. If you don't know this, when you have an insulin spike, that's your body losing and expelling too much sugar to the point where now your body's craving sugar because it's losing too much sugar. That red pepper went down my throat the wrong way. And so now you're sitting here eating a full loaded meal of crap because you go to McDonald's, you go to Burger King, you cook this salmon thinking it's a better alternative that's full with microplastics. You sit here and you fry you some fish or whatever else. And then you're afterwards like, let me go get some cake that has dairy, inflammatory sugar, and all this other stuff because you've been craving sugar after your meal. Not realizing it's because of the insulin spike that you put your body in. Your daily habits are making you have an insulin sensitivity, and dealing with that looks like your choices. It's a matter of the habits that you have and realizing that you have to regulate your body. You have to reset your body. You have to reparent and reprogram the habits that you have so that you don't go back to the old lifestyle that you were before. If you are on a cleanse or if you even try to go plant-based, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change because you have to stick with it. It's something that is going to be a part of your life for the rest of your life. Because, for instance, if you want to lose weight and you want to be healthy and you want to look good, for instance, you're not going to sit there and do it for a couple of months and then be like, okay, I'm done, and then quit and expect your body to stay that way for the rest of your life. If you've gotten abs, you've been working out, you have a cut core, you have a small waist, like you've slimmed down, you've done all this work for months on end. However long, because I said 3 months, but however long, you've been doing it for years. You're not going to sit there and go, okay, and then just stop. And then expect your body to still sit there and be in a healthy state. Still have the cut core, still have abs, still have a small waist. If you expect that, you're delusional, and it's not the kind of good delulu like we like to say on TikTok, but rather you're delusional to the point where you're going to sit here and you're going to be overweight. You're not going to be as healthy as you were. You're going to be struggling, and then you're going to struggle not only with your self-image, but also your health. And so you're sitting there going to have poor habits that develop during that time of you not doing anything with your body, not moving your body. You're going to have diseases start to spark. In reality, when you develop a healthy lifestyle, you're going to stick with it because you're going to reap the benefits. You're going to see how your body can give back to you. You're going to see how healthy you are. You're going to see and reap the benefits that you have from you changing the unhealthy habits and changing your lifestyle completely and stop believing in diet culture. Plant-based nutrition is going to support you in every single aspect of your life. You do not need all this crap that they're feeding you. You do not need all of these different powders and protein powders and workout powders and all these different things. If you're eating correctly, you will get all of the energy that you need. If you're eating correctly, you won't be fatigued after your meal. If you're eating correctly, you won't be sitting here bloated. If you're eating correctly, you won't be sitting here dealing with insulin resistance and diabetes. You won't be having all these acne problems. You won't be having all of these gut-related issues, digestive issues. It's all the matter of what you're doing and how you're getting your nutrients, because these poor eating habits are leading you to eating yourself into the grave. The long-term effect of you eating terribly and not changing anything is literally you developing diseases. If you do not change, you are eating yourself into the grave. Left undealt with all these terrible habits that you have, you will be insulin resistant. And insulin resistance leads to diabetes. So it's a matter of what do you want for yourself. And if you are ready for that, if you are ready to break that cycle, if you are ready to help yourself heal, if you are ready to learn how you can do this for yourself, how you can shift your health, just start simply by cooking plant-based meals. And I have a plant-based cookbook that is linked in my bio. And if you are ready to just completely transform your life because maybe you are suffering currently right now and you need support and you need help and you need to know how you can heal yourself because it's possible, my Bloom to Thrive program, which you can get with Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay, for the first 3 spots is at 1.5K for the 12 weeks. It is 1.5K. It's an investment. But you have to understand this is you investing in your health and literally helping yourself heal. And this is something that you will sustain for the rest of your life. That program will allow you to not only sit here and make plant-based meals, make your own medicine, produce your own products naturally, but also allow you to realize and pass this habit down to generations, your family members, and realize that you have not been taught correctly all of your life, and reparent yourself to teach yourself how to correctly heal and support your body. It's all the matter of what you want. So if you want to join that program, like I said, the link is in my bio for the sign up. Same thing with that plant-based cookbook. It's only $25. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay. You can start making plant-based meals today, because I can guarantee you, if you actually cook, you probably have some ingredients that are in that plant-based cookbook that literally I have mix and match interchangeable recipes in there that will support you in learning how easy it can be to cook from scratch, cook plant-based meals. And if you don't cook, I'm telling you, from somebody who taught people how to cook, you can cook. I literally taught my best friend, I went plant-based way before she did. I taught her. She did not know how to cook. She didn't cook before. She barely knew how to boil noodles, okay? Like, that was about as far as she could go, was boil noodles. And even then, it was still questionable. She cooks with no issue. Ever since I taught her how to cook her first plant-based meal, and she saw how easy it was, and I shared my cookbook with her, she's been cooking since then. And I think it's about to be 3 years now for her, because I think she started like a year and some months after me. I taught her simply just by sharing my plant-based cookbook with her and cooking her first meal with, like, together. She learned how easy it was. She learned how to cook, and she's been cooking since then. She's been cooking for her husband. She's creating new things. She made a blueberry cobbler the other day that I haven't even tried to make yet. I have not made a cobbler for myself. She made a blueberry cobbler the other day that was fire. She would have never done on any of this if she wouldn't have went plant-based. Because to her, cooking meat was scary. To her, cooking dairy was scary, because you can get sick from those things. You can get sick from not cooking meat correctly. You can get sick from bad dairy. It's very rare that you hear somebody getting sick from fruits and vegetables, even though they have all these recalls and salmonella recalls for all this produce that y'all don't even eat, that y'all are freaked out about. That's what kills me, because I had somebody comment talking about they're recalling produce, and she was trying to be smart about it. And I was like, well, I do research into where I buy my produce from. I buy organic. And on top of that, like, I'm not worried about salmonella and all that other stuff, because I know where it's coming from. Because the companies that have all these issues when it comes to salmonella and they're having all these recalls are also the same companies that are producing your meat and your dairy, and they're mass producing and using the same factories and the same water. And so that's why all of these foods are getting contaminated. You're not understanding that. That's why I tell you have to do research into these companies, because these companies use the same factories. That's the reason why when you get your snack and it says could contain peanut products or been on the same manufacturing equipment as peanuts, and you have a peanut allergy, so you have to watch that. That's the same thing that they do with your cauliflower and your spinach and all these different things that are getting recalled. Your apple juice, they use the same contaminated water, and then they put it in the same things or wash your produce in it. That's the reason why they're having all these recalls, because these companies mass produce in big factories multiple things and ramp it out, because they're all under the same umbrella company. They just rename it under a smaller company. So you think, oh, this isn't Kellogg's, this isn't Pepsi or Cola or whoever else, but they're all still under the same umbrella. All you have to do is do a little research. But nobody wants to do that, because everybody's so focused on quick, fast solutions, quick, fast answers. You can get quick, fast answers into your health. You can get quick, fast solutions into your health and how you can heal. But the habits changing, the big changes that you need, that's going to take time. The small changes can start today. That's something quick, fast. That's an easy solution. The small changes. But the big lifestyle change is going to add up over time, over the habits that you have and the things that you do. And so for everybody that's in here right now, you can drop your questions down in the comments before I hop off, because I am done with my whole little spiel. And like I said, my links are in my bio if you have any questions, or if a link does not work for you, because sometimes that happens, DM me and I will send you the link directly. But drop a comment down if you have any questions. I need to wipe my desk off. I have something right here that's black. Drop your questions down, because I'm about to get in this kitchen and get on this this little tortilla soup that I have going on in there. It's brewing the black beans right now. So I'm about to get in there and throw that together. Hopefully it does not take as long as I'm thinking, but it's okay. I'm gonna let it like simmer and brew, and I might I have a gaming channel. If you don't know this, I do game a little bit, so I might just game while I'm waiting because I've done all my work for the day. So I might just give myself a little rest time while I wait for that to brew. Chop up the tortillas. But drop your questions down if you have any questions. And if you think about any questions after I get off live, you can always DM me on my socials. Follow me on Instagram, my Facebook. I haven't been posting much on Facebook, but follow me on my Facebook. I do post on there. Subscribe to my YouTube. If they take TikTok from us, you'll catch me over there. If you are not on my email list, we do Wellness Woman Wednesday. Even if you're not a woman, you can still be on the email list. I have men on the email list, but I have more women than men. We have our Wellness Woman Wednesday, and that's where I give you tips. I inform you about what's going on with our food industry. If something is sparking that we need to talk about it there. On Wellness Woman Wednesday, we just get tips and strategies, and I tell you what I think and how I've helped myself deal with the issue if I relate to it, because that's all I talk about is things that I can relate to and things that actually have to do with our health and our healing. And so I give you tips, I give you strategies, and you know, it's a place for you to be able to contact me if you have any questions, or if you just really want to stay informed outside of social media, but rather have it come straight to your door. You can sign up for my email list. It's also linked in my bio. Those are just like freebies. I have so many different freebies. So if you are in a space where you're not ready, or if you are not financially stable for you to be able to invest in yourself right now, or maybe you're waiting for that check at the end of the month or whatever else, you can always tap into my free services when it comes to signing up for my email list, subscribing to my YouTube. Those are things that you get for free, access to me for free, that you don't have to pay for, that can get you started. Because all of that, I give you plenty of stuff. I don't gatekeep for you to get started. But if you want step-by-step walk access, because through that program you get access to me, you literally can contact me at any time when you need, and through that program, that is something that you have to pay for, because not only is that my time, but it's also an investment for yourself, for you to stick with it. Because if I put all this effort into making a program and crafting it, into catering to you and walking you straight through this, I want you to finish. You're not going to sit there and throw that money down the drain. But you can go sit there and throw a $5, $10 something, a little freebie down the drain. You'll sit there and you'll get it and you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going to use this, and you never use this. But when you invest and you actually invest in it, yeah, you're going to do it. You're going to use it. Because that's going to be a waste of money, and that's not something that everybody wants to do, especially nowadays, the way everything is fluctuating when it comes to prices. You don't want to waste that money. You don't want to waste your time. And so I'm not going to waste your time, and I'm not going to waste your money. I'm going to make sure the ones that want to be in there are going to be in there, and the ones that are not ready, you're not ready. But when you are ready, I'm here, and I'm ready for you. Like I said, that's only for the first 3 spots, though. After that, the price does go up. And that does go up. So you better get in where you fit in. No questions? Nobody in the chat has any questions? I'm gonna hop off here in a minute. Like I said, if you have any questions after I get off live, or maybe you don't feel comfortable asking in front of everybody else, DM me. These cucumbers are smashing right now. Well, I'm not seeing any questions. I guess I'm gonna finish. I got like 5 cucumbers left. If I finish these cucumbers and nobody's asking any questions, I'm gonna hop off. No questions? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat them that fast. They have, I put a little bit of red peppers on them because I usually just like salt and pepper. I put a little bit of oil because it was frozen and I was trying to get them to unthaw. I put some salt and pepper and a little bit of oil. And then I was like, let's just throw some red peppers on there. Hit. Okay, not seeing any questions. I guess I'm gonna hop off. I hope everybody has a great day. I'm gonna see if my dog needs to go outside because she keeps whining at me. But like I said, follow me on my socials so you can stay in tune. And if you are following on my email list, you will know when I go live. Which I did forget to send an email today to my email list before I went live. Whoopsie. I honestly just thought about it because I did a whole bunch of email scheduling this week, and I didn't think about the fact that I didn't schedule the email for my live. So I just reminded myself I'm gonna have to do that for tomorrow. But we will be live either tomorrow or Friday. We'll see, because I don't think it'll be both. I think it'll be either or. But I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, and I hope this live has supported you. And if you missed out on this live and you want to catch the full live, go check out my YouTube. I will post it on YouTube probably next week. Enjoy the rest of your night, and